Right on to the real, much love to these haters. It's time for the Lakers. It's time for the Lakers. Right on to the real, much love to these haters. It's time for the Lakers. It's time for the Lakers. Right on to the real, much love to these haters. It's time for the Lakers. It's time for the Lakers. Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Sunday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we all know that the Los Angeles Lakers were in action on Friday night. And of course, they took on none other than the Detroit Pistons. And of course, you know, they looked quite well during that game, as I have been saying that they would steadily show signs of improvement. And we'll get into the breakdown of that in just a moment. But first, I just would like to say that my Tennessee Vols lost yesterday, man. I don't know what they was doing against South Carolina. So I'm just going to leave that right there. So just know that your boy is still in anguish over that. But at the end of the day, y'all, you know, it is what it is. You know, they had a good season. I won't say it's over, but that's more than likely going to drop them out the college football playoffs. So I just want to throw that out there. Now back to what I was saying about these Lakers. So before the game ensued, and I'm not going to, you know, first, I'm not, you know, I don't want to give the Lakers too much of a big pat on the back because, you know, it was against the Detroit Pistons, which is not one of the best teams in the league, even though they're a young team and they show a lot of promise. And, you know, Kate Cunningham didn't even play, but they show quite a lot of promise. And they was on the second night of a back-to-back because on Thursday night they had took on the Los Angeles Clippers, and they gave the Clippers all that they could handle, and that was with Kawhi Leonard's return to the lineup. So even with Kawhi back in the lineup, Detroit gave them all they can handle, and the Clippers barely pulled it out at the end. You know, but with the Detroit being on the second night of a back-to-back, I knew their legs would kind of wear on them in the second half. You can see a lot of their shots begin to fall short and things like that, but I'm not trying to take away anything from the Los Angeles Lakers because they came out with a great game plan and they executed it quite well. Now, the thing about it is Anthony Davis has stepped up tremendously in the absence of LeBron James, especially over the last two games, having 36 points and 34 points respectively. So, I mean, you know, if AD can continue that same dominance when LeBron is actually playing, then the Lakers will be on to something. Because if AD can play like that and you have a LeBron James, somebody who can facilitate and also go out and get his still in his 20th year, able to be one of the elite scorers in the league, then I'm trying to tell you, then the Lakers going to start raining a little bit of terror on the league is what I'm telling you. You know, everybody wants to say, you know, this and that. Look at the schedule. And like I'm telling you all, there's a lot of games left in the season. If you look up, why nobody talking about Golden State? They below 500. They got the same squad. They the reigning champions. You know, probably Draymond Green messed up that chemistry by firing on old Jordan Poole, man. Things just ain't been right. Clay, ever since he threw up the foe to Devin Booker, they ain't been right since, man. Still ain't won on the road, you know. So right now, I want to say the Sacramento Kings got the best record out of all the California teams. The Clippers, the Lakers, Golden State, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, still a lot of ball left to be played. And if the Lakers continue to grow chemistry, and on the last show, I talked about, it was kind of a great preface of the show because I talked about the great play of Lonnie Walker and Austin Reeves as of late. And if they can establish themselves as reliable role players within the Lakers rotation, then that is going to prove to be very, very valuable. But one thing I do want to point out too is, you know, the Lakers did welcome Dennis Schröder back to the lineup, and they also welcomed Thomas Bryant back to the lineup. And for right now, I'm going to call Thomas Baby Shaq. I know y'all probably won't like that because he's nowhere near that of a Shaquille O'Neal in prowess and physicality and in skill, but just for the purposes of him being the backup center and doing the role that he was doing, because he did body a few people and he did hit the boards, and you know what, he made an impact on the game. I can't say so much that Dennis Schröder, but you know, Dennis Schroeder's a player, you know, is going to have to get himself back into a rhythm. You know, I was happy down the stretch when, you know, Detroit tried to make a game of it in the fourth quarter. I was happy that Coach Ham did elect to go with Russell Westbrook to close out the lineup. And, you know, let's just be honest, since Russell Westbrook insertion into the lineup coming off the bench, he has actually played quite well. I mean, he has played really well, as a matter of fact, because, you know, when he comes off of the bench, he leaves all these options for being able to find other players. And excuse me, y'all, but I had some things going on right here. There's a little wreck, so it kind of threw me off with all this activity going on. But anyway, getting back to what I'm saying, Russell Westbrook is the shot in the arm that the Lakers need off of that bench. He is the one who really gets it going with that second unit. And then, with now you have a legitimate roster now with Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, because, with Westbrook coming off the bench, I don't say any other team has a player of that magnitude who can come off the bench and are capable of doing the things that Russ is capable of doing, because he's not washed. He had a terrible year last year. Let's not get that twisted. But the Lakers dealt with a lot of injuries, and they had a much poorer lineup last year than I think they did this year, to be honest, just because of the age of the roster, and I know you can say what you want to say, but, Carmelo Anthony, he wasn't bringing much to the lineup last year, but at the end of the day, the Lakers have young legs again. Lonnie Walker, I think, is going to be an excellent player for the Lakers. He continues, I'm just going to call him Skywalker right now, because he's finishing at the rim. He's finishing on fast breaks. He's not really creating much for others, but hey, as long as he's going out there and getting his own, I'm not mad at him, because if you can go out there and get your own, that's the only thing that really matters, because not everybody has to facilitate for others. But Austin Reeves, on the other hand, he's not only getting his own, but he's facilitating for others, and he's playing good defense. Now it's time that he does get taken advantage of by some of the more elite scorers in this league, but good offense is going to beat good defense every time. But at the end of the day, if the Lakers continue to gel the way they are gelling, and LeBron James can continue to take off without having to play games, and the Lakers can continue to get some W's. So I would imagine, LeBron James has had a week and 2 days off now, which is very important, because that has given him a chance. To me, I think it was a blessing in disguise, honestly, because it allowed him to rest that foot. And LeBron James was not playing with the same explosiveness as we used to seeing him, and everybody was like, well, Father Time caught up to him, which, of course, Father Time has been catching up to him over the past few years. We do know that, and we're not in any kind of denial of that. We're not living in La La Land, even though I love to be out in La La Land, out in LA, baby. But you hear what I'm saying? LeBron James, that his shots was falling a whole hell of a lot short than what we're accustomed to seeing, and that to me was attributed to that foot, because if you can't when that foot is in a lot of pain, you can't put pressure down on that. That's going to affect the way you explode, the way you get by people and get to the basket, because LeBron James simply was not doing that. He was down there only becoming somebody who could score in transition, because LeBron James has been turned into a pretty damn good jump shooter since about 2015, 2016, ever since that finals against the Spurs, where they dared him to start shooting the jumper, and they was going around picks instead of fighting through the screens, and LeBron James took advantage of it. And we all know what happened in that game 7. Everybody wanted to give it to Ray Allen and get that series to Ray Allen, but we know how many points LeBron scored in that in that fourth quarter of that game 6, and ended up going to the overtime. But nonetheless, if these role players continue to play the way they're playing, which I don't see any signs of them slowing down, especially Lonnie Walker, I think they're only going to get better, because they're going to continue to build a chemistry. And that's what I kept saying early on. A lot of these teams have been playing together. You might add 1 or 2 players here, a couple of role players there, but for the most part, a lot of these teams have had continuity. They had, consistency as far as lineups and rotations. And even last year, Westbrook, he even mentioned he never knew who was going to be playing. Dwight Howard, when he was on the team, was like, am I going to be playing this game? Will I not be playing this game? Is DeAndre Jordan going to be playing? Like, Vogel would just throw out anybody. So if you just really stop and think about that, they could never gain chemistry. And now that team has been broken up, you only have the same, really 4 players back. So you got 8 or 9 different players that you got to get affiliated. And I'm not going to count Cameron Nunn, because he didn't even play last year at all. But I haven't been impressed with Kendrick Nunn, and as a matter of fact, unless he can step his game up, I'm not saying write him off completely, but now that Schröder is back, I don't even think Kendrick Nunn is needed, because you have the emergence of an Austin Reeves. You have Pat Bev, who can play defense and give you just a little bit of offense here and there, but the main thing can focus in on defense. You got a Westbrook who can get downhill and create for others and create for himself. You got Lonnie Walker who can get downhill and create for himself and create for others if he chooses to, but he's more got that mamba mentality when he got that ball. And then you got Austin Reeves, who can do the same. then AD, if he keep playing like the monster way that he's playing, and then not to mention, Wayne and Gabriel has been fantastic. He's pretty much taking all the Damian Jones minutes. Those minutes are out of there. Wayne and Gabriel, my nickname, and he was big last game too. Like, he really cleaned up. My new nickname for Wayne and Gabriel, I'm trying to decide. Y'all tell me, put down in the comments what his nickname should be. It's either going to be Johnny on the spot, because he always there, I'm telling you, for putbacks, tip-ins, like when AD missing little bunnies or Westbrook missing bunnies, he right there, to clean it up. And that's what I'm saying. His second nickname that I was thinking about giving him was the Cleanup Man. I don't know if y'all know about that. It's this old song back in the 70s they had called the Cleanup Man. And I mean, I think that's what I'm gonna rock with, matter of fact. We're gonna call Wayne and Gabriel the Cleanup Man going forward, because man, he out here cleaning up everything, making sure that glass stay clean. Especially, we could call him the glass cleaner. I like that, the glass cleaner. That ain't too bad either. But and I don't know what's going on out here on this Sunday, man, but there's a lot of people getting pulled over. So, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna head to the crib, man. But in other NBA news, I did want to note that Ja Morant is out, and he's week to week with a sprained ankle that he suffered the other night. That's not gonna bode too well for the Memphis Grizzlies, because they are without the services of Desmond Bane as well. So I mean, that's two of your main scorers for the Memphis Grizzlies, because and not only that, Desmond Bane is a hell of a defender, so he's a true 3-and-D player. So without him, Jared Jackson Jr. did come back to the lineup, so that might help the Grizzlies. But I think you're going to see some shuffling in the lineups, and the Kings are playing damn good basketball right now. They're not afraid of anybody. I like the way their roster is constructed, so it's a lot of threats in the West. But if you think about it, I don't care what anybody say. Count the games, and you go by the loss column. That's how you do records. So if you see how many games the Lakers are behind, 10 losses, they're only 4 games out of like the 4th seed, man. Because if you look at the 4th seed all the way down through the 8th and 9th seed, everybody got like 6 losses. So the Lakers are only 4 games behind as far as the losses is concerned. You understand what I'm saying? So, if everybody just give the Lakers time, don't hit the panic button. The schedule softened up now. I'm saying LeBron probably won't play today. I don't have an update for that yet. If you know, put it in the comments. But I would imagine he would come back on Tuesday night against the Suns. Then they got a back-to-back against the Spurs. So that schedule gonna get real soft. The Lakers should win all the games against the Spurs. They should win 3 out of the next 4 easily, which would propel them. And if they can go ahead and beat the Suns during that stretch and win them good 4 in a row. Now you're talking about the Lakers their record being somewhere, what are they now? 1-4, somewhere around 8-10, and then they'd be creeping back towards 500. So, like I told everybody, man, just chill. I know Rob Pelinka is getting a lot of scrutiny because he hadn't pulled the trigger on the trade, but hey, Westbrook is playing well right now. And, if he can make a trade to get Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, of course do so, but not if you're giving up all your picks, man. I understand, LeBron James won't be around and you trying to do this and that, but Russell Westbrook, you still a Hall of Fame player, and there's no damn excuse. So I have faith and trust in Darvin Ham that they can get this together. The Lakers had a very meaningful vocal film session, for what I was told, which led to that victory the other night, where everybody was holding each other accountable. People got to cussing each other out. It was a real good film session, and that's going off the words of AD, Coach Ham, and I think Pat Bear. But it was funny because when they asked Russell Westbrook the same question, he came back and said he didn't know what they was talking about, and that he was just focused on his birthday. And they was like, well, were you at this same film session? He was like, I was at the same film session, but I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. So, that's just Russ being Russ, man. At this point, I don't even know why they ask him too many questions, to be honest, because you're not going to get a wealth of information from him. So it's like, either you're going to be antagonizing him or he's going to be antagonizing you. So, with all that being said, I would just, if I was a reporter and I was in the locker room, I'd just keep it copacetic, with him. So at the end of the day, man, the Lakers, I think, going to go ahead and take care of business tonight against San Antonio. That's going to be at 6:30 Pacific time out there in Cali, 6:30 here in Central Time. So no, 8:30 here Central Time. So look forward to that game. It'll be another notch in the Lakers belt as far as getting another victory so they can start to ease their way into some positioning to get a playoff berth in this long season. Everybody, panicking and everything. But at the end of the day, man, this has been your boy B Noob. I'm going to scream right on to the real and much love to these haters. I'm out.